Welcome everyone to our Remembrance Day ceremony for 2020. The Greater Victoria School District wishes to recognize and acknowledge the Esquimalt and Songhees nations on whose traditional territories we live, we learn, and we do our work. Oakland students and staff, I would like to remind you that this is a solemn ceremony. It is a ceremony where we pay respect by silence and attention. It is a time for thoughtful reflection. At this time, I will ask you to please quietly stand for the singing of our national anthem. Please stand. Thank you. Please quietly be seated. Why do we remember who was lost in battle on the 11th day of November each year? The answer to that is quite simply, on the 11th hour of the 11th day on the 11th month in 1918, the First World War ended. Those that were in war thought that it would be right to remember their friends who had died on that day the fighting stopped. It was agreed that Remembrance Day will be held on the 11th of November ever since. Many Canadian soldiers were also killed in the Second World War, the Korean War, the Gulf War, the war in Afghanistan, and in peacekeeping missions. Today, we will remember them all.
On Remembrance Day, each of us wears a bright red poppy on our hearts. As soldiers returned to their homes, they remembered the poppies that grew over the battlefields that they had fought on and where their friends were killed. The poppy has become a badge of and a symbol of honor and a symbol of respect that we wear to remember all those brave Canadians who were killed. Now, Ms. Liddell's class will recite In Flanders Field.
In Flanders Fields by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scares heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt on, saw sunset glow, and loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who died, we shall not sleep, the poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Thank you, students in Ms. Liddell's class. That was beautiful. On Remembrance Day, we recognize the courage, the bravery, and the sacrifice of those who have served our country so that we may enjoy the life we have in Canada today. We also say thank you to those who have served our country. This year, our Oakland students will lead us in a candle lighting ceremony in memory of those who have served our country so that we may work and live in freedom. Thank you.
We light one candle for bravery.
Bravery is being the only one who knows you are afraid. Franklin P. Jones.
Many have left their families to defend our freedom. We salute their bravery.
We express our appreciation and support to their families, and we pray for their safe return. We light one candle for courage.
Courage is not the absence of fear, but the judgment that something else is more important than fear.
The brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all. For now you are traveling the road between who you think you are and who you can be. Meg Cabot.
We light one candle for freedom.
They fought and some died for their homeland. They fought and some died, now it's our land. Look at his little child, there's no fear in her.
As Canadians, we often take for granted our current way of life, our freedom to participate in culture and political events,
And our right to live under a government of our
The
choice.
Charter of Rights and Freedoms in our Constitution ensures that all Canadians enjoy protection under the law. The Canadians who went off to war in the distant lands went in the belief that such rights and freedoms were being threatened.
they truly believe that.
Without freedom, there can be no ensuring peace, and without peace, no enduring freedom. Office of Veteran Affairs.
We light one candle for responsibility. With freedom comes responsibility.
A hero is someone who understands the responsibility that comes with their freedom. Bob Dylan.
We light one candle for peace. You can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless they have their freedom. Malcolm X.
We light one candle for legacy.
The long Canadian frontier from the Atlantic to the Pacific Oceans are guarded only by neighborly respect and honorable obligations.
Is an example to every country, pattern for the future of the world. Sir Winston Churchill.
It is very important for Canadians to consider our responsibility to help build peace in our communities and world. Lester B. Pearson.
We wish you peace and happiness.
The last post is a traditional salute given to a fallen soldier. Played during wartime, it signals the end of the soldier's day. Soldiers were able to rest and relax until the next morning. The last post is used today in funeral and memorial services as a final farewell to the soldiers who have died. It symbolizes that their duty is over and that they may rest in peace. For this reason, we have a moment of silence following the last post. The moment of silence is a time to reflect, pray, or just think about the sacrifices people have made for us. At the end of the moment of silence is Roos, another bugle call used during wartime. It represents the start of a new day. Rus is used in services like ours today to symbolize moving forward from war and starting over again. You are now going to stand and bow your heads during the playing of the last post and during the moment of silence that will follow. Would you please stand quietly and bow your heads now? Thank you. Please quietly be seated. We have made a slideshow that your teacher may show in honor of the family and friends of the Oaklands community who have served or are presently serving our country. Please reflect on their contributions when you view their cherished photos in our slideshow, Oaklands Remembrance. In closing, we ask that you continue to honor our veterans today and tomorrow on November 11th by wearing your poppy with respect, and take the time to contemplate the important messages that you've learned today. Thank you.